You think that you've got your book buying addiction under control until you line up all the books you've gotten recently and you realize you're so gone. Hello, loyal subjects. Today I'm here to do my Christmas book haul. Not all of these were given to me for Christmas. These are just the books that I have accumulated over the last few months. And oh boy, is there a lot. Like, seriously, it's pretty bad. First up, I have a book that I've already read, and that is Lips Touch Three Times by Laini Taylor. This is my first Laini Taylor experience, and if you want to hear more of my thoughts on it, you can check out my November wrap-up. All in all, I really liked it. I'm really digging what Laini Taylor's putting down. So it makes sense that I next have to show you the daughter of Smoke and Bone box set. Oh yeah, I'm excited. Not much else to say other than that they're very pretty. I really like the covers and I'm really excited to read them. Like, this is gonna be happening soon. So look forward to that, because I know I am. Next, I have a book that I have had my eye on for so long but only just recently got, and that is Storm Dancer by Jay Kristoff. This is the first book in the Lotus War trilogy, and all you need to know about it is this little blurb on the cover by Patrick Rothfuss. What's that? You say you've got a Japanese steampunk novel with mythic creatures, civil unrest, and a strong female protagonist? I'm afraid I missed everything after you said Japanese steampunk. That's all I really needed to hear. Likewise. I've seen a few people haul this, but not a lot of people have read it, so I just think it sounds so cool, and I'm really excited to get into this. Next up, I have Magician by Raymond E. Feist. This is the first book in a massive, 30-book series called The Rift War Saga. My dad got me this because he really liked this series when he was a kid, and so after I finished my first year of university, he got it for me. I'm actually currently reading it. I'm about halfway through, and oh my god. So much stuff is going down. I really like this cover as well. It's like cloth bound and pretty. Next is These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. This is the first book in the Starbound trilogy, and I have been eyeing this thing for so long, so when I saw it was cheap on the Book Depository, I just had to go for it. And it's really pretty, and it's sci-fi, and I'm like, oh, I'm looking forward to it. Next up, I have The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. From what I know about this, this is a really lyrically written story about a girl who is born with wings, and it follows her, her mother, and her grandmother through their generations as they go about life, I suppose. I don't know, it's supposed to be really good. Again, cheap on the Book Depository, so I won't add it. I really like the texture of this cover. It's like rough and it's like lined with the foily kind of gold. It's really nice. Looking forward to this one as well. We don't get a lot of magical realism, kind of fantasy-ish standalones, so my stupid siblings are outside. Next up, I have the Blood of Eden trilogy by Julie Kagawa. This consists of The Immortal Rules, The Eternity Cure, and The Forever Song. I've been wanting to pick up something by Julie Kagawa for a while, and when I heard that these were about dystopian vampires, I was sold. I love these covers as well, and this is a really nice quality paperback. It's got deckled edges and it's just really good, really cool. I am super excited to pick this up. I've heard great things. Next, I have a book that I'm surprised more people aren't talking about, and that is Monstrous Affections, an anthology of beastly tales edited by Kelly Link and Gavin J. Grant. This is a collection of short stories from a bunch of different authors, all focusing around monsters, I believe. It sounds really cool. It's got authors such as Patrick Ness, Holly Black, Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan. Lots of cool people. And also, I just noticed this, there's a little bit with a comic strip in it. I don't know how this links into the stories, but that's pretty cool. Added comics, nice. And also, good quality hardcover. Next, I have a book that I don't think I've hauled yet, so I'm going to show it to you anyway. And that's The House of Forgetting by Benjamin Alire Sáenz. I want to read all of his books, and this book, unfortunately, has gone out of print. So I got it used from a marketplace seller on Barnes & Noble, and it's okay. It's a bit weathered around the edges, but, you know, very passable. This is supposed to be about a girl who has been held captive in this house for like her whole life. And I think this is about her realizing what kind of situation she's in and trying to fight back against her captor. So not what you would expect from him, but I'm excited. Yeah. Excited. After that, my family and I went on a holiday trip to Cairns, and up there I told myself I wasn't going to buy any books because I already had so many, but you know how that went, otherwise we wouldn't be here. So first we went up to the Kuranda markets and I found this beauty for $5. This is a bind up of 3 books by Wilbur Smith, all set in ancient Egypt. Again, this is an author that both of my parents really like, so I thought I'd pick up one of his stuff. And I'm interested in ancient Egypt, so this seemed like a good way to go. Even though this is really old and battered, kind of, it's still in one piece, and I'm excited. How many times has Elizabeth said that word in this video? Don't count. That's embarrassing. I also picked up The Word Exchange by Alina Graydon. I saw a review of this on Tumblr and the premise really intrigued me. It's set in the future where basically print is dead. There's no more books, basically, and everything is done on electronic devices. So our main character is this girl named Anana, and she and her father are printing the last book ever, I think. But then something happens where I think her father dies and she's trying to find the people who did it. It seems really interesting. It's like got one of those cool formats. At the start of the chapter, it's got these words and their definitions, and I don't know, it just seems really interesting. It seems like something that a book lover should read, so boom. Next, I picked up 50 Shades of Feminism, edited by Lisa Apegnan. Never mind. I'm what someone would call a feminist. Me, I call myself that. Because I am. So I wanted to get into some non-fiction, and I decided that this would be a good place to start because I like feminism, I like thoughtful essays, and these are all written from a variety of women who, like women in different professions, like in science and law, housewives, women from different nationalities. So it looks like it's gonna be a real thinker of a novel, so I'm excited for this. Next, I have here a bit of an impulse buy, but I'm glad I own it, and that is the collector's editions of Looking for Alaska and Paper Towns, both by John Green. It's true, I have read all of John Green's books, and I do own Looking for Alaska and Paper Towns, but they're both in shitty Australian paperbacks. So now I have them in these cool hardcovers. Looking for Alaska, Paper Towns. What? And on the back, they both have their most memorable quotes on them, and I am happy with this purchase. If only I had an abundance of Catherines and The Fault in Our Stars like this, then my life would be complete. Next, I have the first 3 books in the All the Wrong Questions series by Lemony Snicket. I just randomly came across these in Kmart for $9 each as I was just going about my day, and I thought, wow, Anyone who would pass up that bargain is a certified idiot. So I got them. So this includes Who Could That Be at This Hour? When Did You Last See Her? And Shouldn't You Be in School? They look really cool and fun. Whoa. I know that these act as like a prequel to the series of unfortunate events, but do you have had to read those, to read these? Somebody help me out here. Next I have here Rosemary's Baby by Ira Levin. You all probably have heard of this because of the hit movie that it was turned to in the 60s, I believe. And I have been doing this thing where I want to read the books that all these critically acclaimed films are based off of. And this is like a horror classic. It's basically about this woman who moves into this New York apartment with her husband. And there are these really weird, creepy old people that live there. And they take a special interest in her. And long story short, those people are like Satanists and she ends up getting impregnated with Satan's child. That's not a spoiler, right? It's public domain. So yeah. Excited. Next, I have here something that's pretty exciting, and that's Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. My friend took me into the bookstore, and for my Christmas present she said, pick out anything you want and I'll buy it for you. And that was great. I wanted to get Warbreaker, but they didn't have it, so I picked up this one instead. Everybody harps on about Brandon Sanderson being this bitchin' modern fantasy writer, and I haven't read any of his stuff, and the books all have these really pretty covers. So now I finally have this. I'm not too sure what it's about. I've just heard that this is his most political kind of book, and that intrigues me. So I am very interested to see what goes down in this. Next, I have here The Ice Dragon by George R.R. Martin. I have not read the A Song of Ice and Fire series yet, but I saw this and it looked so cool because I love dragons and I don't have that many books with dragons in them. So when I saw this bitching illustrated story about a girl who rides a dragon, I had to get it. It's really nice and hardcover and it looks pretty. Look at that cover. Look at that dragon. So maybe if I like this, I might eventually pick up a Game of Thrones when I've got like a month to spare. Next, I have here 2 books by an author that I really like and I want to collect all of his stuff, and that is Patrick Ness, baby. First is The Crane Wife, which I just came across for $6 in a bookstore. What the H? So I had to pick it up. This is about a man. It's based on a Japanese folklore kind of fairy tale fable thing. It's about this man who one day finds this injured crane in his yard and he like nurses it back to health. And then the next day, this Japanese woman named Kumiko, I believe is her name, appears in his store and it's kind of about them. And it's supposed to be really good and it's Patrick Ness, so obviously it's going to be good. Then I got a book that a lot of people don't seem to know exists, and that's The Crash of Hennington, also by Patrick Ness. Everyone seems to think that The Crane Wife is his only adult novel, but he has this and also another book called Topics About Which I Know Nothing, which I don't yet own, but I have ordered, so it's going to be here soon, and then I'm going to have like almost all of his books, and that's exciting. Sorry, it is like an oven in here right now. Australian summer, man. You're not missing out. But yeah, I'm not too sure what this is about. I know it's like set in the future on this kind of seaside town where there are these rhinos that wander around and it's supposed to be kind of like a drama. So, intriguing. Intrigued is what I am. And next up, I have something that is very exciting, but I'm not going to hold it up because that would be really heavy. And that is the Mortal Instruments hardcover box set. Oh, so pretty. Look at it. We got City of Bones, Ashes, Glass, Fallen Angels, Lost Souls, and Heavenly Fire, all making this beautiful, beautiful stack. The Mortal Instruments is one of my favourite series. Probably my favourite series ever, and I've only had them in these shitty little creased up paperbacks, so now I finally have them in all of their beautiful hardcover glory, and I am so happy that this is something that has happened in my life. Last, but certainly not least, I don't want you all to get jealous, but prepare to get jealous because I got the complete Ouran High School Host Club manga box set. What? This by Bisco Hattori, by the way, in case you didn't know. All 18 volumes. Look at it, it's all this nice Velcro-y kind of thing. I'm missing volume 3 because my sister is currently reading it because I got her hooked on these. Oh yeah. I've only read these before on the internet, but now I have them in a hard copy and I'm gonna reread the series and it's gonna be fabulous. Fabulous. If you don't like manga or anime, this is a good place to go, I would say. It's funny, it's dramatic, it's got awesome characters, it's got a cool kind of sitcom-y feel going on to it, but with really nice artwork. So if you want to read the manga, which I would definitely recommend, or watch the anime, I would also recommend that. Did that just make sense? But yes, that is all that I have to show you. All right, like it's just a small thing. I would have no hope in hell at lifting this. None at all. Look, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just look at that. That is just like Mount Everest. That's not even all of it. And there's box set down there, books over there. I mean, look at my shelves. They're like falling apart without them. But that is all I have for you today. I will see you next time. Goodbye! Merry Christmas!